So after all the cats and birds, we ran out of money for cages, so we've chucked everything else into one big field called Everything Else, and crossed our fingers that there isn't going to be a massive bloodbath. So, Sascha, do you want to lead the way with Everything Else?
I would love to. Yeah. First of all, I want to make aware of the shirt I'm wearing today, which is a Liberia shirt that was never worn by Syndio, which I think is the only manufacturer using an animal as their logo.
Yeah.
An elephant.
Yeah.
That's why I used it today. And speaking of elephants, of course, the Ivory Coast comes to mind.
Yeah.
With lots of elephants. This is the one with the antlers. How do you call it?
Trunk. The trunk that goes on forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. But the other things are called tusks.
Yeah, I know tusks.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one Ivory Coast, and of course they all have elephants. So I have this version as well, the printed on one.
Oh yeah.
Which you probably can't see again.
Yeah.
But it has an elephant as well, obviously. And I also have a match worn and signed one, which again has it in the corner.
I liked that series.
It was cool. There's a few animals from that series actually.
And speaking of the corner,
there we go.
I also have the same one from Algeria, where they have the fennec on it. And unlike all the others, I think they haven't used the fennec since, because they then moved to Adidas and didn't get all the other templates.
That's a shame, really.
I think that's the only one where they used the fennec.
That's cool. It's like what? Like a desert fox sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small desert fox. And then comes the one that Eric mentioned before.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can see
it actually came out there. I actually see that one good.
Yeah.
So that's a Burkina Faso shirt with 2 stallions on it.
Anything else?
Yeah, I do have lots of dolphins, and I've seen that in the backdrop of Eric as well. So that's always ANGUILLA.
Yeah.
And there you have 3 subtle little dolphins in the background.
Yeah, they're cool.
And then they got a bit more aggressive lately with their Primo shirts.
Cool.
And yeah, I do have the away version as well. There's a lot going on that shirt.
That's quite a cool shirt. Yeah, I quite like that.
Well, Sascha, the one that you had, was that from the same batch as mine, the ones that I got from the FA?
Yeah.
So these ones were worn by the women's.
I've got one as well. I've got the number 13, I think.
Yeah, I managed to get 7 of them at the time. That was sometime around 2015.
And I've been unable to play it ever since.
No shirts. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Eric's got them all.
Well, that one was lucky. It came out of the blue. I made contact, didn't hear anything. Then they got back to me, and I think it was 3 or 4 months later. And
that sounds pretty standard for the Caribbean.
Well, we got them in the end. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it worked out well. And
so is that it from you, Sascha?
No, I do have some more exotic animals as well.
Oh yeah, the giraffe.
Exactly. So that's a giraffe on a Tanzania shirt.
So cool.
From Woodsport.
It is cool, and they've made the most of it because they've used exactly the same giraffe graphic for the last 3 Uhlsport designs. But it's a cool giraffe, so I'm always happy to see it.
True. I do have the other version, the opposite of course as well. I also love the print on these.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have them with the name set, but the print is incredible as well.
Totally. It's absolutely ace.
And then I have one which I'm not sure anyone else has, which is an Eritrea shirt from Leyburn Sport.
Oh.
That has an animal on it?
It does have.
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
A whole lot of camels on it.
Oh, brilliant. It's a whole camel family. I love it.
Yeah, that's all on the bottom of it. But it's a brilliant small little detail on that shirt. I'm not sure if they actually wore them yet.
I don't think they have done, no.
I know the guy from Leyburn personally for a couple of years already. And I know that he supplied them to Eritrea, and they used them for warm-up, and then used completely boring templates during the match, and just the keeper was wearing the Leyburn shirts for some reason.
Fingers crossed they will. That's a cool little detail. I like that. I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah,
a
see the things you
camel.
learn when you take your shirts out of the bag.
And then last but absolutely not
Oh
least,
yeah.
Yeah.
is this badass shirt from Bazutoland Inc. with the crocodile on it.
That was a wicked shirt.
Yeah, and there's a good story there as well, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
until today it's one of my favorite shirts because
I'll be honest, I remember there being a cool story about it, and I can't remember who was it that arranged it in the first place.
It
it was me.
Oh,
Was it?
Yeah.
okay. So Sascha arranged it. Nick just ruined the press release.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't even go and get them. Sascha arranged for some bloke to bring them, and my mate Chris then met up with this guy outside the British Museum in London, and he said it just looked like a drug deal. He basically handed over some money, I think. I can't remember. And then
And a
he
big
handed over
suitcase full of shirts.
and they said about 2 words to each other and went their separate ways.
That's magnificent. But it was like the day before the actual official release of the shirts. We
We do this all the time.
them
Yeah.
before they'd even been announced, which was pretty awesome. I've no idea how you managed to sort that out.
So the pre-story of that was that I was in touch with the General Secretary of the FA for about 2 years already. And he kind of kept saying we will sell them soon, blah, blah, blah. And then they got these new kids. And he said, look, I'll be in the UK over Christmas to visit some family members. So if you know anyone in the UK who can pick it up, I'm happy to hand it over. I'll be in London. And I said, yeah, well, that's fine. And then Nick's brother got them. And I think we got 20 of them. And these were the only ones ever sold until maybe 3 or 4 years later when they started to pop up on classic football shirts.
Is
what
that right?
happened there was that it was before the London Olympics. The Lesotho team was based in Wrexham, of all places, for the Olympic Games.
Obviously.
And vintage football shirts are based in Wrexham, and so they ordered in a whole bunch of them. And there's a big local thing about them having the Lesotho Olympic team staying in Wrexham, and
Oh, that's quite cool.
a lot locally. They wore them for years, didn't they? Like until they changed over to, I want to say recently when they went to
Umbro. They've gone to
I
Umbro
reckon
now.
they had it for about 7 years.
But I mean, personally, what I also love about the shirt is that it is locally made.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely,
it
yeah.
is,
The best
it is
part.
from a company in Lesotho. It's still a great quality shirt.
Yeah.
And I've read that actually the Umbro contract has ended, and several companies are bidding for a new Lesotho contract, including Bazutoland Inc. And I really hope they will get it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They
Yeah,
do
you're
a lot
right.
of they do a lot of local teams as well in the C2.
You always like to see a local manufacturer.
Yeah. Them and it's called Kasi, Botswana.
Oh yeah,
So-
exactly, and that's a brilliant shirt. So Nick, have you got anything for the everything else field?
To be honest, I think Sasha's probably gone through most of them. I've got my brand new in bag with tags Lesotho shirt there. I've got my my Tanzanian shirt with the
Tanzanian giraffe,
on the back.
very good.
There are a few interesting ones. Right, so first of all, this Kenya shirt. Now, first thing to point out is that they never wore the green one. In fact, I believe they only ever wore the red one in one game away to Liberia
Yeah.
before they got ditched for whatever reason.
Where's the animal?
Well, yeah, this is
Ours
the cool
aren't
thing.
animals.
So they are on the back. We have the Big Five, which obviously Kenya is famous for the Big Five.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we have an elephant, a lion, a zebra, some other sort of cat, and some ox thing. I don't know.
Did Nick just fail that cognitive test that Trump bragged about?
Totally.
So I thought that was a really cool addition. It's so subtle, like you wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can be subtle on this shirt,
yeah, subtle's not exactly the word for that one, to be honest. But
I've never seen it, and I have the same shirt.
I
And then-
think I have this shirt, but I think it's in the box.
The
So-
box.
Oh, the box, yeah, the box which is in this room.
The box,
Of course,
which is
this one has-
attains capital letters now on the T and the B. It's the box.
It also has Cool B on it, which I assume is Cool Breeze.
Oh yeah. Two more shirts and the box starts to generate its own gravity. Eventually, it'll just create a singularity and warp itself here for free.
Barely
I
lifts it.
see. So that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Right. I do have another one, and this is cool. I have one with. I've got to find the animal on this now. Right.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Is, yeah. This is Australian First Nations.
Are you sure you're not taking those out of my box? Because I've got one of those in the box.
It's got, presumably, an emu or a.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
an emu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
To be honest, there's probably some other animals hidden on there somewhere, but
That's very funny because I looked at that shirt for like half an hour to figure out if there is an animal on it,
And you miss it.
and I failed to see that massive emu because there is so much going on there.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean the emu's only like a foot tall or something.
I've just realised that's a bird.
It is a bird. Oh, it should be in the aviary. Okay, we'll see if I can cut it. If I can, I will, and if I can't, I won't.
But it doesn't fly, so it's not really a bird.
That is true. Yeah.
I think it technically is. Lays eggs.
No, we can degrade him to another.
Be fair, they make up their own animals down there, don't they? That whatever it is.
I think.
Lays eggs, got fur.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
what about
I'm
a
sure.
platypus? That lays eggs.
I've heard that Australia's not real anyway, isn't it? It's just part of a conspiracy, isn't it? The flat earthers don't think that Australia actually exists. They think everybody who's been on holiday there is making it up, which is magnificent. So, Sascha, you've got an Estonia shirt with a hedgehog, right? Show it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this Estonia shirt, which doesn't look very much like animals. But if you look on the back, there is a little hedgehog on it. Just
Fantastic.
above the name set. I'm not sure if they all have it or if it's just on the match-worn shirts or if it's part of the print. But this one is match-worn, so luckily it does have it.
I don't know.
The
That's,
reason for it is something to do with them being small yet quite fearsome because of all the spikes.
Are hedgehogs fearsome? I thought people.
Well,
kept them as
I mean,
pets.
you don't want to kick them, do you? Like,
Well,
No,
you don't
but-
want to kick any animal.
but I
you
mean, like-
psychopath.
they quite like to run away and hide from things, don't they?
But-
Really,
Yeah.
cover
To be fair,
themselves up in leaves.
To be fair, is Estonia fearsome in football?
Yeah, well, this is maybe where they're going wrong. Maybe if instead of a hedgehog, they had put on a grizzly
squirrel.
bear or something.
It would be a
Don't
squirrel.
even squirrels.
No, I was going to say they can go talk to Benin.
Benin, fantastic. It's always a kind of source of disappointment that Benin have never actually put a gigantic squirrel on the front of one of their shirts.
I actually read the story of Benin and the squirrels lately, and they do have it in the logo. So they chose the squirrel because it is small, but rising very quickly. It's going up the tree very quickly.
Brilliant.
That's why they chose it.
I wonder at what point they realised that was a completely ridiculous decision.
I
there is a
didn't even know
chance that
they
they will
had
play.
squirrels.
That they'll play Estonia because Estonia had this weird obsession with playing as many different countries as possible.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right. They
as
went
soon
to
as-
the South Pacific and stuff, didn't they?
They did. They played against like Tahiti and Fiji and stuff like that.
No, New Caledonia, home and away tie.
Yes.
And New Caledonia didn't want to come all the way to Estonia for just one match, so they also played, or were scheduled to play Saaremaa, a non-FIFA
yeah.
side, but then COVID kicked in.
But I think St Kitts and Nevis played them as well. I think when they came over to Europe, they
I
played
think that's right,
Andorra
yeah.
and so. But whenever anyone joins FIFA, the first team they play is Estonia. So I think Gibraltar and Kosovo both did as well.
Right. Okay, so Eric, I hear that you don't have anything to add to the other animals bloodbath. So
No, I just had I brought that one Anguilla, and Sascha already covered that in the menagerie. So
okay,
I think
cool. I've got a
that was
few.
it.
I've got a few to add. So I've got this Angola shirt, and this one's interesting actually because it's a prototype. It's not the final version that they actually used, but I think it's quite a cool shirt. But I think the problem with it is that I don't really understand why they put a load of red on it when it's supposedly going to be the away shirt, and the whole point of having an away shirt is that it's not the same as the home shirt, which is red. So nice idea, but maybe you can see why they didn't actually go with it in the long run. But it's got
antelope looks like a rooster. That's why they didn't go with it.
It doesn't look like a rooster.
At first glance, I thought that was a rooster.
Hang on, that's a better picture
on
of it.
the wide shot, and that makes me look like a lunatic. Put the other one back.
I think it's really cool. A really cool graphic, actually. I think it's.
I like the antelope on. They have another shirt that has it on the shoulder in that series, the 2012. So I think it has. Yeah.
Well, this is the one that's. But as I say, this isn't the final design that they used. And I think Nick, you've got a different prototype of the same.
Yeah,
time.
I've got one that is all yellow because they realised, but
again, it's still not the one that they used. I find that really weird, but I think they ended up in a kind of
outlet store.
In an outlet store, exactly.
Yeah, I think that happened with the Puma a lot, because I've got an absolute ton of Puma samples, not because I've got any connection to Puma, but because I go on eBay and there's loads of them, and you can tell they're official. They put samples in the back.
I've
got some Ivory Coast ones from the same series, but with the old badge on them.
That's
so
right.
exactly the same, but it's got the wrong badge.
And the Mozambique shirt that I've got as well says sample on it as well. So in the same kind of vein as the South Korea shirt, this is a very, very close-up zebra, isn't it? Isn't it? It obviously is. And I'd thought for ages that they hadn't actually worn these. It was the third shirt from that series of Al-Kassi shirts, the first series of Al-Kassi shirts, and I thought they hadn't worn it. But then Nick corrected me that and they wore it for one game, I think, didn't they, in the event? So a game against Lesotho in 2012.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know whether to include that one because I can't tell if the whole eagle is there.
It's not an eagle. Here you go. Yes, this is what I thought as well. I thought this was an eagle for years.
Oh no, it's the hussar.
It is not an eagle. It is a hussar,
okay,
which is like a kind of warrior guy with a sort of Mr. T mohawk hat
on his back.
But yeah, it's actually for the horse that I have picked this, because that there is a horse. And again, it's another one from Puma's 2006 range. Some of which
is
awesome.
I don't like this range. Like, why are they so blurry and everything?
Well, some of them are hilarious. What is Belarus? They got a bramble bush or a tumbleweed or something.
Iran just got some squiggles in the corner. Like, they didn't even get an actual proper picture. That's Iran, Eric. Yeah.
Oh, no.
The country whose name thou must not speak for fear of having thou's PayPal account shut down. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like they started out kind of okay, and then they just
lost inspiration at some point along the way.
And why do they have this cheap Polska football
badge
thing?
Yeah,
with a wing on it. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They got two badges again, like the Togo shirt that we saw earlier that had the random sparrowhawk on it. So they got a left and a right badge as well. So
the eagle badge was interesting because of that one year that they took it off and people went nuts. And so you can actually get there's versions of I want to say, who was it? Was it were they with Adidas or Nike when they did that?
I don't know.
Where they took the eagle off, people in Poland went crazy. They actually passed a law that says that it has to be on the shirt all the time.
That's crazy.
And so then the shirt maker, I don't want to blame the wrong person, sent out the badges, and you could get them from sports shops and put them on yourself. So I have a version of that without the eagle, because they were selling them over here without it, even though in Europe I think they had to give you the badge along with it after. So
that's interesting. Anyway, I think that's probably it. Yes, I very much hope that everybody has enjoyed this visit to the animal kingdom with us, and has enjoyed listening to our ill-informed nonsense about various animals. I mean, to be honest, even our identification of certain animals has been slightly patchy along the way. But that's what you get. We are the Polyester Atlas, and it's kind of more about the chat. So thank you very much for joining us, and be sure to join us again for the next episode. We will have a new arrivals episode coming out sometime soon, and also we're going to have an episode where we have a look at some of the new designs that have come out over the last international weekend. So looking forward to that. But until next time, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Polyester Atlas. And we'll see you again. So thanks very much, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.